many of you know what euthanasia is? Okay. Have you ever had a pet euthanized or heard of you have, so you know all about it? And has anyone, you guys have ever heard of another person having a pet that was euthanized as well? And do you guys know what that means?
Put to death.
Right, but what they do usually with a pet is they give an injection of something to calm them. And then they give them another injection of some kind of cocktail to make sure that they end their suffering and never wake up, basically is the way that it's explained to the families that come in for their pets. But the other part of the euthanasia is that it also is for humans. Now, if someone is suffering, they've got an incurable disease that is painful, that there's no cure for, that they can't really help much with. Many people like to ask for, just, in my suffering, let me let go. I don't want to go on any further. Now, would you, as a family member, friend, loved one, associate, would you be okay if somebody did that?
Yes.
So, if it were me, and I was in some severe amount of pain, there was absolutely no hope. Time had passed, they had done their research, there was no hope for any kind of cure, relief from the pain. If I asked one of my loved ones to help me out or give me some assistance, then, that would be my wish, right? Something that I would want. Same kind of rights that we have with other issues in our world. Things as big as abortion or the right to vote. We can all vote and vote as we choose, and that's our right. We can all, at this point in time, choose to have abortion if that's our belief, and that's our right. Or at this point in time, do the new Prop 8. We can all get married no matter what our race is, what our gender is, and things like that. That's our choice. So this should also be a choice, my personal opinion. So basically, euthanasia is, for adults, like I said, like Dr. Kevorkian. Everybody's heard of Dr. Kevorkian. He assisted suicides of over 130 different people, but only was convicted of one because they couldn't prove, because it was a verbal conversation between him and that particular patient, that patient asked him to do that. The other 130 patients, on the other hand, was less convincing, so he didn't get convicted of those. So basically, the Hippocratic Oath is something that doctors take, and this tells us, or tells doctors, for example, that they vow to never harm anyone as a doctor. The knowledge that they have, the abilities that they have, they can never harm anyone. It also includes, to never give any deadly medicine. So I'm not going to kill you with medicine because of my knowledge. It's like a boxer. They get in trouble for fighting because they have special skills. A doctor has special skills. They can't do something that would normally injure someone because of the knowledge that they have. So, for example, way back, the first law against euthanasia was anti-euthanasia, which was passed in New York back in the 1800s, very early on, and was a major topic for debate at that time because it was basically divided into two types, voluntary and non-voluntary. Obviously, non-voluntary is something that you don't want to happen. And voluntary is something, like I said, that you're in pain, you don't want to continue on, there's no hope for you, help me out because I can't do it myself, type of a thing. Now, in the 1930s, non-voluntary euthanasia was practiced by the Germans. The Holocaust. They actually practiced this on people, the old, the young, extremely young, the kids. That's what they called it, to kind of get away with it before the war and all that kind of stuff happened. That's where it first became a big thing. So that's where it first started there, and then basically after time passed and obviously that ended, people started to look down upon it. There was laws created. There are actually many states currently that have passed laws to allow voluntary euthanasia so that people can make that decision for themselves. But majority of the states don't allow that at all. Right. Okay. For example, there was a man in 1935 who was arrested for performing euthanasia on his daughter. She was suffering from cerebral spinal meningitis for over 30 years. And from what I know of cerebral spinal meningitis, it's extremely painful and there's no cure. There's not a lot of ways out of that extreme pain. So, he helped her to move on. And during that trial, he was acquitted, actually. And there's another doctor, actually, Joseph Hassman, who was charged guilty for administering a lethal dose of Demerol to his mother-in-law. Now, his motives may be a little different. You know, he may not have been wanting to help out as much as the other gentleman with his daughter. And of course, like I said earlier, we all know about Dr. Kevorkian, who assisted in the euthanasia of a man who suffered from what is currently known as Lou Gehrig's disease. Okay? So basically, it's a painless way of terminating the life of someone who doesn't any longer want to go through whatever it is that they're going through. So my way of expressing this is that it should be something
Just look at me.
that is a personal choice. There should be no law. It's a personal choice of whether you want to survive in pain and suffering, or if you want to go on in the way that you're going. If you want to live in a hospital or a hospice and you want to sit there and live, and that's fine, but there are people that don't want to survive that way. So if they don't want to survive that way, there should be a choice or an option for them to be able to continue on or not continue on, and go ahead and bypass, have assistance in doing so. Like I said, there's the way that we deal with our dogs and cats, and usually oddly similar with those depending on the type of disease that you have. Obviously they give you something to relax you, you feel nothing, and then you're no longer there. For example, the whole Terry Schreiber thing. The whole, we're going to put you on life support, though there's no response anywhere, and your whole body is not responding, but we're going to leave you on life support for 10 years. For what? They have papers nowadays where you can sign and have it on your driver's license, don't resuscitate, organ donor, all these things that you can make choices of. And there should also be the same choice of, I'm laying in a hospital bed, there is no hope for me, I choose not to go on this way.
Absolutely.
Any questions?
No questions, just comments. Why the hell would anybody that loves somebody that doesn't have a cure for that, let them lay there like a Shibo person for 10 years or whatever that girl was under? I understand not being able to let go of the physical person, but that person is not even there.
Right, not letting
And
go of the emotion.
I am an avid supporter.
That's the whole
I'm
point,
sorry,
is
did I
that
saw my mother suffer?
and it's a touchy subject, because
Yes.
a lot of people actually like,
And I
well,
just had to get that out because I knew that was going to be an issue.
if we have this
So,
technology and these people are meant to survive, and we have technology, we should let them survive this way.
yeah.
There are also the other
Quality
side
of life.
It's quality of life point, right.
Yep, that's not quality of life. That's quality of healthcare to the best of their ability. That's not life. And that's where I stand on that. So now that I've just ruined her speech,
We can cut that out.
yeah, I'm sorry, I had to give it out.
Danny would probably sit down.
My mom.
You know what, I'm tired of